as being equally capable of making decisions. Okay. And the suffragettes demanded that the right to vote for all women, and to get their demands heard, they changed they changed themselves to railings in public places. Many suffragettes were imprisoned and went on hunger strikes. They had to be fed by force. American women got the right to vote in 1920, while women in the UK got the vote on the same terms as men some years later in 1928. So now this is how the movement for women to have the right to vote had started. So during the times of war, okay, all the men had gone to war, so somebody had to replace their jobs, like organizing and all the sorts of work which were done by men. So now the women were coming to the mainstream and doing all the work which were done by the men. Now they're doing the work by the men. So they were it was news was running around that women are equally capable of men. And while such stereotypes have been created, that only, just remember, like we discussed, that when we say that they don't cry, whom are we referring to? Which gender are we referring to? Whether it's the male or the female, for a boy or a girl. We say it's for a boy because we've always seen the girl crying, and we've never seen a boy crying. And crying is a sign of weakness, it is said often. But when I say they don't cry, I might be referring to few people which consist of both male and female. I'm not saying that this gender is not crying or they are not crying. I'm just saying, I'm not saying males are not crying. I'm not saying just females are not crying or just saying they can be anybody, a male person or female person. So now there's so they demanded the right to vote for all women. And then they chained, मतलब अपने में chain जो होता है ना, chain लगाना, themselves to railings in public places. Okay. Now we've already discussed what Gandhi ji had to say, that the he cannot the he cannot bear the idea. You can always quote, okay, you can always quote things. So after, so here, okay, in the story, that after the war, so basically the first world war, major participants were of course the United States. Okay. So in United States, so they, after the after the war ended and everything, women got the right to vote in 1920, whereas in Europe and etc., in the year 1928 they got their right to vote. So you can always quote things like 1931. This is a quote which is said by, sorry, this is a quote which is said by Gandhi, that he cannot think that just because a man has wealth and that makes him eligible to vote, whereas somebody who's working day in and out but he's poor is not does not have the right to vote, because he's poor and he does not have education, that he could not even think that it should be done, that it should be made a criteria. We've almost completed that chapter. So look at the map. Look at the map on pages 29 and 30. We can do this activity today. They show the union territories and districts of India. Find out the following information from these maps. Name the neighbors of India. Now, who are the neighbors of India? When we say neighbors, we mean right adjacent. Pakistan is our neighbor. China is our neighbor. Bhutan is our neighbor. Nepal is our neighbor. Bangladesh is our neighbor. Myanmar is our neighbor. Okay. So you can always name. Okay. Name your state and union territory. Name your state or union territory. Now you can always tell whichever part of the country you are. Suppose I stay in Uttar Pradesh. Who are my neighbors? Delhi is my neighbor, Uttarakhand is my neighbor, Nepal is my neighbor, Bihar is my neighbor, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan is my neighbor. Is Haryana my neighbor? Haryana is also my neighbor. Okay. So name your district and your neighbors. Now you say that in Uttar Pradesh, which is your district, and then so on. Routes from a district to the national capital. Now, suppose take the district where you stay. Example here. These small are the districts. Okay. Here, these small. If I say I stay in Pune. Okay. Pune is here. Now it's saying that route the map to your capital. Maharashtra, the capital is Mumbai. I say Mumbai is here. That's the capital of Maharashtra state. Look at the states. Look at the statements in the column on the left. Can you identify which level they belong to? Please tick the mark against. Now, here are some of the statements which are given, and you have to decide that which functions are performed at which level. Okay. Decisions of the government of India to maintain peaceful relation with Russia. Now, Russia is a different nation, and India is also one nation, so it has to be decided at a central level because it's a national issue. So it's this: the decision of the government of West Bengal on whether to have. Sorry, okay, just whether to have board exam in class 8 or for all government schools, that is a state issue. Introduction of two new trains between Dibrugarh and Kanyakumari, that is a national issue because it involves many states. It does not only involve one state, but all the states which are going to come between Dibrugarh and Kanyakumari. It is going to involve all the states. Decisions to locate a common well in a particular area of a village. Talking about village is a small entity, so it's a local level issue. Decision to construct a big children's park in Patna. Patna, it's state issue. Decision of the government of Haryana to provide free electricity for its all farmers. Now we're saying that the state of Haryana is thinking, then it means state. Introduction of 100 new rupees. Now that's in central issue, but because if all the states start saying that we are going to introduce a new note, so just imagine how many different kinds of note we'll have. If we have 29 states, then that means that we are going to have 29 into maybe five varieties of each state has. Then we're going to have so many varieties. Okay, that's not going to. And how are we going to then trade between inter states? How is a state of Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra going to trade in? What is going to be the currency value of one note, if of one note to the other? Now, you should understand what you understand by the term government. List the 5 ways in which you think government affects our daily lives. Why do you think that government, it affects? So here is a wait. Why do you think like the government affects our daily life? Because it is making decisions for us which is going to be implemented in our daily lives. It's going to affect because it's going to affect the way we live and function. Why do you think that the government needs to make rules for everyone in the form of laws? Because if everybody just does of what they feel like, then there's going to be so much chaos. Like, if whatever you allowed to do, whatever you want, somebody, just imagine that somebody is killing somebody, and because there are no rules, they're like, I'm not going to be punished for killing somebody, so I'm allowed to do that. That is the basic example I'm giving you. Not that I want any one of you to kill anybody or harm any other person. Name the two essential features of a democratic government. So what are the essential government? That is the one is, of course, that they have it is the right of the people to choose their government. It is a representative democracy, and it can always take, of course, it can always take suggestions of us as the citizens of India to make further decisions and implement new rules and regulation. What was the suffrage movement? What did it accomplish? So it was a movement to allow right to vote for everyone, regardless of gender, color, caste, creed, job, wealth, literacy. Gandhiji strongly believed that every adult in India should have been given the right to vote. However, a few people did not share his views. They feel that illiterate people who are mainly poor should not be given the right to vote. What do you think? Do you think that this would be a form of discrimination? Give 5 points to support your views and share. Now you can discuss this with your friends, family. That why do you think that only a particular set of people are allowed to vote because they fulfill some criteria of either being rich or either being literate or belonging to some one set of gender? Won't it lead to discrimination if somebody is not there hearing your views? Won't you feel discriminated because the rules, and now the rules and regulation would not be made according keeping in mind of your region, of your lifestyle and everything? So it is going to negatively impact you, because the decisions will now be made, which are being going to be negative on your part. Okay, so that is how it is. We've dealt complete sorry we've dealt with this chapter, and we'll be doing chapter 2 of this unit in the next class. So yeah, thank you everyone, take care and bye, have a good day.